Hello and welcome friends. I want to discuss with you about discipleship training cycle. Modeling, assisting, watching and living. This is Jesus Christ model of teaching and training cycle. Even the disciples of Jesus, they also followed this cycle. This is very effective actually. This is biblical way of disciple making. So if you are a church leader or you are serving God, you are leading people to Christ, you are helping them to grow, for you it is very much essential. Jesus Christ called us to be a disciple maker. And all the fivefold ministers in the church today, apostle, prophet, pastor, evangelist, teacher, all of them, they need to make disciples. And for disciple making, this model is very effective. And this is actually the biblical model of discipleship. So what is this modeling, assisting, watching and living? I'm going to discuss that, how Jesus Christ did it, how his disciples, they did it, how you can do it, and why we are lacking it in the church. In the present day church, we are lacking it. That's why we are not able to make disciples. First of all, we need to understand how Jesus Christ worked. He called ordinary people to follow him. Ordinary people came, Peter, Matthew, they all came actually, and they were living with Jesus. They were living with Jesus. And when they are living with Jesus, they are moving with Jesus. They are going to place with Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ was doing ministry. Jesus Christ was spending time with the Lord in the morning. He was praying. He was then preaching the gospel. Then he was healing the sick, casting out demons. He was compassionate towards people. And then he was teaching and training disciples and also the general people who gathered there. The disciples who came and who were staying with Jesus Christ, they were watching Jesus Christ very closely. And after some time, Jesus Christ, they started working with Jesus Christ. They were assisting with Jesus Christ and they learned things and they started doing things. We can see in the scriptures that disciples of Jesus, they also started doing things with Jesus Christ. We see in John chapter 4, the disciples of Jesus, they started baptizing people. And then we see Jesus Christ sending them. In Matthew chapter 10:1, Luke chapter 9:1, Jesus Christ sending them to work for the kingdom. Luke chapter 10:1, he sent 70 people. And he sent people with giving power and authority. And they went out and they worked for the kingdom. And then they came back. And Jesus Christ was instructing them what they should do, how they should do it better way. So then he was observing them, sending them personally. They went out and they worked it. And there were some kind of correction, some kind of debriefing happened. And then finally, Jesus Christ, one day, he commissioned them, he sent them and he left this earth. We know that in Matthew chapter 28, verse 18 to 20, Mark chapter 16, verse 15 to 20, we can see that Jesus Christ sending his disciples to the world. And they are given already power and authority. They already received the Holy Spirit. They need to go and work for the kingdom. In Acts chapter 1 also we see that when they receive power, they should go out to the different countries, different places, so that they can work for the kingdom. They can be the witness of Jesus Christ. So all these four models, 4 stages of this training cycle is observed. Modeling, assisting, observing or watching, and living or launching. And these are very crucial. Jesus Christ did something, disciples saw it, that is modeling. He himself was doing it. He is the disciple maker. He was doing it and the disciples were watching him doing it. And then they ask, like prayer, they asked Jesus Christ that we want to do it. And then Jesus Christ taught them. Even Jesus Christ taught everything. That is what Jesus Christ was doing, the preaching, healing, deliverance, everything he taught them. And then he took them with him to do all those things. The disciples were working with Jesus Christ. That is the second stage, assisting. And third stage is watching. Jesus Christ sent them and he wanted to see how they are doing it. And then finally he left them and they are launched. You can say that Jesus Christ left them in the mission field so that they can go and do it. They no need active discipleship. They need to go and do it. So these are the 4 models of disciple making which is lacking in present day church system. Most of the church system, they do not follow this, but this is biblical way of disciple making. Even the disciples of Jesus Christ, Apostle Paul, he followed this pattern. Now, if you go to Luke chapter 6 verse 40, here Jesus Christ says, a disciple is not above his teacher, but everyone who is perfectly trained will be like his teacher. So Jesus Christ explicitly he is stating that the objective of his training is personal transformation. The disciples will be changed into the characteristics of the master. They will be start walking like Jesus Christ. They will be start working like Jesus Christ. They will put on the characteristics of Jesus Christ. They will start walking like Jesus Christ. They will start working like Jesus Christ. That is the end result, that they will be like Jesus, not only in characteristics, but also in their walk, personal walk, and their relationship with God and their work, the work they are doing for the Lord. So this model is very important for disciple making. So all the 5-fold ministers in the church setup, they need to learn this and they need to do it in their setup so that they can make disciples. Without this model, you cannot make effective disciples, because this is biblical model of discipleship. Now, I'll break it down one by one. Modeling, assisting, watching, and living. Modeling, I'm doing it, you watch, I'm doing it. So that is what modeling is. For example, last year I met a fisherman from West Bengal, and I was asking him that, will you teach me how to catch fish? And he's a person from the village, he's not very much literate. He said that, yes, but then you have to come to my village, you have to come to the river where I catch fish. I said, exactly, but then how you will teach me? Then he said that you have to come with me to the water, and I'll show you how to put the net, how to pull the net. So he was talking about practical way of teaching. So modeling is that first you do it. If you are a disciple maker, you need to do it, and your disciples, they need to see how you are doing it. You need to do it practically, not just preaching from the pulpit that we have to do it. No, you do it first. If you want to teach preaching on the road, street preaching, you go and preach and you teach your disciples how to do it. If you want to teach them how to heal the sick, you go and heal the sick first, and then you tell your disciples, you do it like this. If you want to cast out demons, you do it first, so that your disciple can see and they can learn from that. Godly lifestyle, you live that godly lifestyle. You spend time with God, so that the disciples, they can see your lifestyle and then they will start follow. So modeling is very important, where the leader or the disciple maker need to live that lifestyle. Understand one thing, in the Jesus Christ model of teaching, the biblical model of teaching, you cannot fake it. You cannot tell someone to do something which you are not doing it. So if you think you are the leader, you are disciple maker, you want to live a life that Jesus called us to live. We want to live that life, and those people will see that in us, what you are doing, and then they will start doing it. So modeling, in the modeling stage, when the disciple maker is doing it, the disciple maker is 100% responsible for the work he is doing, the task he is doing. Whatever task he is doing, preaching, healing, casting out demons, praying, whatever he is doing, he is 100% responsible for that. But disciples are just the observer. They are seeing it, that this person is doing it, he is qualified in this, let me see how he is doing it, so that they will learn by seeing it. So it is not just giving example, it is not just giving some instructions. Now, if I want to learn how to catch fish, and someone took me in a classroom and he can give me lot of instructions on his through some presentation and all, and for hours I can take that presentation and listen to that presentation, but I will not learn practically how to catch fish. So it is not just taking some instruction, some kind of knowledge that will not help us in the mission field. For doing things in the mission field, the disciple maker should teach you practically how to do it. He should do it practically so that the disciple should see and learn it. The goal of it is to give a clear-cut instruction, clear-cut understanding for that particular work, and teaching hands-on training for the disciples, real life pattern. The disciple maker is doing something, we need to do that. We need to learn that skill, application, obedience, and the ministry that way. Once I was teaching people how to preach on the road, and I met some disciples. They said that we do not know how to preach on the road, and they are fearful actually. I said, come, I'll show you how to do it. So I started preaching on the road, and they saw that this man is fearlessly preaching, and what is the sequence of preaching, and how he's preaching, how he's preaching about Jesus Christ, what he is telling people, and they learn it. And then all of a sudden, one of them, he said, I want to do it now. So that is the next stage. I said, yeah, you come and do it. And he showed me the sequence. He wants to preach this kind of thing, this kind of message. He wrote it down in his mobile. I said, yeah, you can do it. Come and do it. So the disciples learn by seeing a disciple maker is doing. Disciple maker has to go first. He should be a modeling. This is what modeling is. I have to do it. If I am a disciple maker, I have to do it. If you are a disciple maker, you need to do it first, so that disciple will see and will learn. Biblical example, we saw Jesus Christ preaching, healing, casting out demons. He was teaching people. Also, he was spending time with the Lord. And all other things Jesus Christ did, he was modeling. He was showing his disciples, see, you can live your life like this. That is the biblical example. We see some examples in the Bible. Luke chapter 11 verse 1. Now it come to pass, as he was praying in a certain place, when he ceased, that one of his disciples said to him, Lord, teach us to pray, as John also taught his disciples. So disciples of Jesus, he came to him, said that, teach us also to pray. Why they asked that? Because Jesus Christ was praying always. They saw it and they understood it. They need to do it. How to do it? How to teach us? And then Philippians chapter 4:9, Paul the apostle is saying, the things which you learned and received and heard and saw in me, this do, and the God of peace will be with you. He is saying that what you are seeing in me, you do it. This is what modeling is. John chapter 13 verse 15, I believe, it says that, for I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you. Jesus Christ was washing their feet. And then he was saying that this is an example I'm setting up. Modeling, I'm modeling. He was humbling himself and washing his disciples' feet. And he's saying that I'm setting up an example so that you can also do it. He was modeling so that these disciples also can do it. So these are the biblical example. You see that he was always modeling so that people can follow him. People can do exactly what he was doing. So how you can do it in your ministry? You can model. You can teach them how to spend time with the Lord. By you first do it, so that when you are living together, you are together, they will see your lifestyle, and then they will learn from you how to spend time with the Lord. You have to do it. It is not just preaching from the pulpit or giving them some instruction. You have to do it. When people will see that you are doing it, they will try to learn it from you. Also, you can the way you are reaching out to people, how you are preaching the gospel, you are healing the sick, casting out demons, how you are ministering people, how you are baptizing people, you are praying for the Holy Spirit, you are teaching and training disciples how they should grow up, how you are compassionate towards people. There are a lot of things you will find in the Bible to do. And when you do it in the biblical way, your disciples are seeing you. That is the modeling. It is very important part. You cannot live this life and you cannot tell your disciples, you do it. That is not disciple making. Disciple making starts from the disciple maker. The disciple maker should live a life of modeling. What Jesus Christ was doing, he should start doing it so that the disciples will start learning by seeing. So this is the modeling setup. You can do it in your church, in small group, or in your missionary group. You should do it. You should live that life so that the disciples who are there with you, they will start learning from you. The first stage. Second stage is assisting. Now the disciples saw you doing this thing. Now they want to do it. Like I just shared, one brother, he came to me and he said that I want to preach. Like you are preaching on the road, I want to preach, and this is what I want to preach. He wrote it in his mobile and he was asking me, I want to preach this. And I checked it. I said, this is fine. I said, yeah, you come and preach it. You need any help? He said that you stay with me and you see what I'm doing. I said, yeah. So then he started preaching. So assisting is, we will do it together. We are doing it together. And sometime in your ministry, you can take disciples with you and they will assist in your work, in your preaching, in your teaching, in your healing the sick, casting out demons, in your ministering people, to help people, all other things in the ministry. You can take their help. You can take them in your ministry. They are collaborating with you in the same level. They are working with you. So what is in this? They will work with you closely. Now the responsibility lies on both of them. It is not that 100% you are responsible for the work. That trainee is also the disciple who is coming along with you to learn to do it. He is also responsible for the work. And as you are doing it, the disciple can ask you questions. They can ask you some doubts and all, because they are doing it for the first time. They are learning it from you. So when they are doing it, they are building up in confidence. Okay, I can do it like this. Yes. And they are doing it with you and they do not have much fear because you are always there. You can always help them, and you should help them when you are assisting them, because you are working as a team. Understand that you are working as a team. And when you are working as a team, the disciples, they are working with you, they will have confidence actually when they are working. And when they are participating with you, they will have a lot of hands-on training. I can give you an example. We were training a group of disciples in Bangladesh, and I took them out in the village for praying for the sick. And then we, on the road, we prayed for a lot of people. And then we found a man who was having stroke, and he was partially paralyzed and he was unable to move, and he was walking with the help of a walker. So I met him on the road and I just asked him that, can I pray for you, for your leg, so that you will be healed? And I pray in the name of Isa, Jesus Christ. And the people, the disciples, they were with me, around 15 of them. Some of them, they are not willing. They were telling me that he will not be healed. They did not have that much faith. But I said that, no, let's try. Come, we will do it together. And I was doing it. Initially, they did not have much faith. And I started continuing prayer. After 15-20 minutes, some kind of restoration we start seeing in that person. And they also joined with me. As they saw me praying, they also joined with me. And after almost 1 hour, that man started moving of his own without any walker. He started moving. Even though he did not got completely healed, there was partial healing in his body. He could walk without any help, without any walker. And they worked with me. The disciples, they worked with me. We worked together. So what I was trying to do is, I was trying to help them to increase their faith. And they saw the sickness is so big and their faith is so little, they were not interested to pray for this man. But then I helped them to work there. I worked with them, and then their faith grew up actually. And when they came back and they testified that, even the third day, they themselves went to the different villages and they started doing it. So when we work, the disciple maker is working with disciples. The disciples' faith grow up. Sometimes disciples, they do not have much faith. They just still struggling with some kind of unbelief or something. But then when they come and work with the disciple maker, their faith grow up. And they understand a lot of things when they are doing it. They are practically doing it. You know, there are a lot of people, they just they just do Bible college, theological Bible college, and then they are launched into the ministry, and they do not have much exposure, practical exposure to the ministry, and they struggle a lot. I know a lot of friends like that. But then we need the discipleship training actually, and when people learn these things, hands-on training, and they start doing it in their life. We need to train disciples so that they will start doing it. So we see in the Bible, we see there are a lot of examples like that where Jesus Christ was assisting his disciples are working with Jesus Christ. There are many examples we can see, but there are a few of them, like feeding the 5,000. Matthew chapter 14, 13 to 21. John chapter 6, 5 to 14 is mentioned there. You know, if you read the scripture, you will find that Jesus Christ was already knowing what he is going to do, but then he asked disciples that you feed them. You feed them. There are 5,000 people. Jesus Christ said, you feed them. But the disciples said that we don't have that much money, and we don't how we'll get that much food. But then Jesus Christ helped them in that, and he multiplied the food. But the disciples are working with Jesus Christ. He prayed, and the miracle happened, and he was telling disciples, go and distribute this. And they are working with Jesus Christ. What Jesus Christ was doing? Jesus Christ was assisting them to do this kind of miraculous work. And they are learning it. There are a lot of examples where disciples were lacking faith and Jesus Christ did something. Jesus Christ was assisting them to do that thing. Like in the boat, Jesus Christ was falling asleep and there was a big storm. And disciples, they are fearful, and they called Jesus Christ, Master, what should you do? You are sleeping. Then Jesus Christ woke up and he just rebuked the storm. And the disciples, they are fearful. Who is this person? And Jesus Christ is actually showing them, and also he was assisting them to do those things. In 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 1, Paul the apostle is telling his disciples, be imitator of me as I am of Christ. Actually, he was saying that do what I'm doing actually, the way I'm walking, be imitator, do all those things. He is kind of calling them to assist, to work in the same way. So in the Bible we see there are various examples where Jesus Christ was assisting his disciples to work with him so that they will learn many things from there. They will learn and have a lot of understanding. They had a lot of doubts and they asked a lot of questions to Jesus Christ, and he answered those questions. And in all these things, they grew up in confidence to do those things, and they learn how Jesus Christ was doing. In the same way, when the disciples are taken in assisting, disciple maker is taking the disciples to work together with him as a team. When they are working, the disciples will learn how to do it. And I was initially, when I started going out for missionary work, I used to work with people, and they used to take me for missionary work. Initial missionary work, I remember I used to just carry their bags. I used to take the preacher's bag, or I used to carry some kind of load. And I was thankful for that, because when I was with them, I was learning what they are doing in a missionary trip, what message they are preaching, what are the pattern they are following. I was learning those things. I learned these things from various people. And one day I understood that what I can do. And then I started taking part in the missionary work. I started preaching. I started praying for the sick. I started baptizing people in the mission trip. And then one particular time, God called me to do my own ministry, to move out, and I started doing it. So I went with them, I saw them doing it, and I started doing it with them. That is what assisting is, working with them and learning from there. So this is also important in the disciple making pattern. If you are in the fivefold ministry, you are trying to disciple people, you should do it. You should take disciples along with you so that you can teach and train them for the work. So this will build them up for sharing gospel, all this setup. Even how to run a small fellowship, you can take disciples with you, and you can do it, and you can give them responsibility. They will learn and they will grow up. Third step is watching. Now you taught the disciples to how to do it. They have some kind of confidence. Now you can send them to work. You can tell them, now you go and do it. I will observe how you are doing it. If there is anything wrong, any fault, I'll correct you. But you go and do it. And that is the third stage actually, where you do it, I will observe. The disciple maker will observe and the disciples will do it. And that in this stage, the disciple take full responsibility of the work. Whether he is able to do it in the right way or wrong way, that is different thing. But he takes the full responsibility of the work, and he gets instruction from the disciple maker, and he will be completing it with his understanding and knowledge. But if he can ask question to disciple maker. If disciple maker is nearby, he can ask question, or after completion of it, if there is any kind of anything he has not understood it, or any kind of wrong thing he faced, he can come back to the disciple maker and ask question. But the disciple takes the full responsibility of the work, and the disciple maker remains as an observer. In this stage, the goal is the disciple will be able to do it alone, and this will build up a different kind of confidence in disciple, and disciple will try to do it in his way. He will customize it, or you can say personalize it in his own way, how to do it. He learn it now as a disciple how he should do it. So when he will do it, it will give a different kind of confidence in him, and he will understand where he is lacking, what he need to learn. All these things he will learn, because now he is doing it and he is 100% responsible for this work. And finally he will come back for any kind of feedback or any kind of understanding or anything to the disciple maker. So we see there are different biblical example of this, like in Matthew chapter 10:1, Jesus Christ gave power and authority to his disciples and sent them. And if you go to Matthew chapter 10 verse 5 and 8, you will see that Jesus Christ sending them to particular Jew people, where they should go and share gospel and heal the sick, cast out demons, and preach about the kingdom. Luke chapter 9 1 and 2, you will find there Jesus Christ sending his disciples to preach the gospel, heal the sick, cast out demons. He's sending them. He's saying that you go and do it. Jesus Christ was still working, and he taught his disciples to that level that now he can send them individually. They can go and do it, and they went and did it. Luke chapter 10:1 also, he sent 70 disciples. Some Bible it is mentioned 72, some Bible 70. So Luke chapter 10 also, he sent 70 disciples to go, and they went and preached in the village. And all these disciples, they came back and they gave reports. Oh, we went there and we worked like this, and even the demons are subjected to us. Even this thing happened, that thing happened. Then Jesus Christ gave some kind of indication. Don't be excited about this. Your names are written in the book of life, and some other things he shared. But then he gave some instructions. Some kind of debriefing happened. They went and they worked properly. They came back, and there was some kind of understanding. Jesus Christ need to debrief, and he debriefed that. So how you can do it in your ministry? After teaching and training, after they assisted with you, they worked with you, you can send them for work. You can tell them that you go and do it. You go and share gospel to these people. You go and go out to this place and find a person of peace and preach the gospel, heal the sick, cast out demons, and baptize them and pray for the Holy Spirit. And you can look after a small group. You can send them to do it, and while you observe how they are doing it, they may come back, or you may be present there and to observe that. Sometimes for a small group leading, like you started a small group and you want it to be handed over to a disciples. So he assisted with you for some weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks he assisted with you, and then you can tell him that you now lead it. I'll be there. I'll be observing what you are doing. If there is any help required, I'll help you. But then after some time I'll leave you. So he will be doing it, and then you can give some instructions where he is lacking, what he is doing right or what he is doing wrong. So this observing stage is important, where watching stage where you help him to understand what he is doing in the right way, which area he needs some kind of correction. We see an incident in Matthew chapter 17 where a person who is having a demon-possessed son, sick demon-possessed son, he brought his son to the disciples of Jesus Christ. And the disciples of Jesus Christ, they could not heal that boy. And after that, we see the father came to Jesus Christ and he was complaining that your disciples could not heal it. I believe it was a kind of this observing stage, watching or observing stage, where Jesus disciples, they need to do it, but they could not do it. And then Jesus Christ actually rebuked them, saying them, how long I'll be there with you? As if you are supposed to do it. How long I'll be there with you? I'm always doing it with you and you are not able to do it. Now you are supposed to do it, but you are not able to do it. Then Jesus Christ did it. And then afterwards, he told them what they are lacking. They are lacking in faith, they are lacking in prayer. He told them. So they were corrected, and then after that they started doing it perfectly. If you go to Acts chapter 5, you'll find that they were doing, all the people who are coming to them, they were healing and casting out demons perfectly. They learn it by doing it. So this is the model actually Jesus Christ was following. So this is the third stage, watching or observing. And the fourth stage is interesting. Fourth stage is leaving or launching. You know, making disciple doesn't mean that I'll keep making disciples and my church members number will grow up and people will always remain in the church group. That is not true. Actual biblical discipleship means you model your teaching, then you assist them, they will work with you, then you watch them doing it, and the fourth stage is leaving them. You have to send them also. There are a lot of ministries, they have not understood it. There are a lot of church leaders, they have not understood it. They do not follow it. But it is biblical pattern that when disciples could do it, they have learned and they are doing it in the right way, we need to send them. We need to send them for doing it of their own. It is just like a family. A family father is having five children, 5 sons and daughters, and they are growing up under the father and mother, parents. And then one day they grew up, they got education, and they physically, emotionally, spiritually, they grew up. They become mature. They started working. They got jobs in different places. And then they started working. And then they'll get married. And after that, they'll not remain under father's authority. They can live close to him, but then they'll not live under the father's authority. They will start their own families. In the same way, when the disciples learn these things, they should be launched, or they should allow the disciple maker should allow them to leave, to go, and they should start making their own disciples. This is discipleship pattern. So they have learned all these things. Now they will go and they will start making disciples. So on the very first level, they will start modeling, assisting, watching, and they will also build up disciples, and then they also send disciples. This is the biblical pattern of disciple making. So it is not that you have taught everything, now those people will remain inside your church so that they can help in your ministry. So it is not like that. It is about, if God called them to go out and they should start their own ministry, they should move, they should go, they should be launched, they should be prayed over, and they should go and they should start their ministry. That is what disciple making is. So the goal of this is to help healthy spiritual multiplication of the believers. We see it in the Bible that disciples, they are making disciples. Jesus made disciples, and those disciples start making disciples. And this is biblical pattern. Disciple will make disciple, and that disciples will make disciple, and that so on. It keep on happening actually. Jesus Christ did it when he was ascending onto heaven. He was telling his disciples that you also go and make disciples. Matthew chapter 28 verse 18 to 20, Jesus Christ commissioned them, sent them, saying that you go and make disciples, and I'll be there with you. Mark chapter 16 verse 15 to 20, if you go, you'll find the same pattern. He told them, you go and make disciples, preach the gospel. And he was telling these are the signs of believers. Then he said that I'll be always there with you. And when disciples went and they were working, Jesus Christ was working with them. This is a biblical pattern of disciple making. Disciples make disciples and then they make disciples. This keep on happening. It is not that I started a church fellowship, lot of people came to my church and they will never leave my church. That is not the pattern. That is not biblical pattern. We need to teach and train. Even though if you have a church building, the understanding is you have to teach and train, and then you have to launch them in the world. They will go and they will make disciple. They will become a disciple maker. I'll give you a clear understanding of this from the scripture. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 2. Here Paul is telling Timothy, and what you have heard from me. Timothy was a disciple of Apostle Paul. So Paul taught Timothy. Timothy is Paul's disciples. So what Paul taught Timothy, then he is saying that what you have heard from me, in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to faithful men, and who will be able to teach others also. What he is saying is, he is saying that what I taught you, you have to teach those things to faithful people who will be able to teach others. So he is talking about 4 generations of disciple making. He taught Timothy. Timothy should teach faithful people and they should be able to teach others. 4 generation of disciple making. So this is the way it should happen actually. You model it, assist it, and then you watch it, and then you leave or launch it. Practically you have to send them. So practically how you can do it, when you have understood that some of your disciples, they have learned enough and they can do it of their own, tell them to seek God's guidance, and you also seek God's guidance. If God is calling them clearly to go and do it, you can send them. You can tell them that you go and do it. You pray for them and they will be sent in their respective mission field or respective places, and they will be start doing it. They can still be your friends. They should keep in touch with you over phone or over connection. They should come sometime, talk to you, so that you can discuss your about your faith life, about your personal life. You can still be good friends, but the disciple will no longer take active discipleship from the disciple maker. That stage is over. Now the disciple should go to the mission field and he should start learning by doing it. When we do these things, when we do modeling, assisting, and then watching and leaving, when we do this pattern of disciple making, we also learn a lot of things from the Lord. So those things every disciple should learn. So when disciple will go and start doing it, he will learn those things. So this is the pattern actually. Like you teach someone, I was discussing, like someone need to learn about catching fish, how to catch fish. So you cannot give a classroom instruction how to catch fish. That is good actually. You can give some kind of classroom instruction of how the net is, how you need to drive a boat to go to a particular place for throwing the net, or how you can arrange a fishing line. All these things are fine, but then practically you have to take that person to water and teach him by showing how you are catching fish as a disciple maker, so that disciple will see how you are catching fish, and then you give disciple a chance to help you in that, and then you tell disciple, you catch fish, I'll be watching. The disciple will catch fish. He may be doing some kind of mistake, you will give instruction, and then when he will be confidently catching fish, you can tell him that you have learned it, now you catch your own fish and you teach others how to catch fish, and you leave him. This is what the systematic teaching and training in the biblical pattern. So you can do this thing in different way, like in the planting church pattern also, planting fellowship group also, you can teach them. You can plant a fellowship, and then you running that fellowship, you can teach your disciples how to run that fellowship, and then they can assist you in running that fellowship, and then sometime you can tell them that you take over and you do it. I'll be observing you how you are doing it for some time, and after some time you can tell him that you take over this, you run this fellowship, I'll be moving out from this place, I'll be starting a new fellowship. So this also you can do in different setup. This is a biblical pattern of disciple making, so that you can teach and train, and it will help you to multiply. Also, when you are discipling people, you teach them that they also should do this pattern: modeling, assisting, watching, and living in their disciple making, so that we will continuously doing discipleship. It is not that in some we will learn it and then we are not doing it, then the disciple making will not continue. For disciple making to continue, everyone who have learned, they should start doing it. Now, in the church context or denominational context, we see they have a problem of not living or not launching people. This is a problem. I heard it from various people, various church leaders, people in ministry. They always complain that in the church setup, they have a problem. They teach something. Sometimes they teach through modeling, but then they do not allow them to assist in their work. And then sometimes they do modeling and assisting, but then they do not allow them to work in the ministry. And in some church they will allow all these things, modeling, assisting, and watching, but they will not go to the fourth stage of living. They will not do that. So this is a problem actually, and this should not happen. This will not allow new disciples to grow up. They may be learning something, but they will be in that inside the four walls. They will be just helping in your mission work. That is not what biblical pattern is. The biblical pattern is you should teach, train, and then you observe them, and then you send them. That is what Jesus Christ model of disciple making is, which will help us to make more and more disciples. Modeling, assisting, watching, and living. That will help us to make healthy disciples. Either you are in apostolic ministry, prophetic ministry, pastoral ministry, evangelical ministry, or teaching, whatever ministry you are, you should follow this kind of pattern so that you can make more disciples. This is biblical pattern of disciple making. I believe God will help you if you follow this pattern, and you will make more and more disciples, and God's name will be glorified through your ministry. May God bless you with this teaching. Thank you.